Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to Little Mountain Ranch. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm happy to have you here with me today where we are going to make some homemade pierogies. It is the second month of the Pantry Challenge. We are participating in the Three Rivers Challenge where we're not going to the grocery store for all of January, which we've made it through, yay! And now we are into the second month in February. It is one of my son's birthday in a couple of days and he has requested pierogies. And since we're not going to the store, buying pierogies is not an option, so I thought I would make some from scratch. I have made pierogies a couple times before, but it has been years since I have made them. So we are going to just wing it and see how it goes. We are going to need some flour, which we have here. We're going to need some olive oil, some salt, some eggs, and a couple of cups of water. So those are the ingredients for the pasta part, or is it pasta? Yeah, I guess it is kind of a pasta part of the pierogi. And then I have some potatoes that I've already cooked up over here that we're gonna mash up in a minute, along with some onions, which we have already caramelized here to add in. And then we'll also add a little bit of cheese to the filling as well. So first things first, I'm gonna get my hair up so that we don't get hair in our food, because nothing is worse than that. And we will get to making these pierogies. Okay, there we go. Now we are ready to go with this. I am going to probably need a bigger bowl than I have available here. I'm just gonna run downstairs. I'll be right back. So 6 cups of flour into a nice big bowl or into a mixer if you have a working mixer, which I currently do not, although my new mixer should be here any day now. And I am very excited to show it to you because it has been one that I have been wanting now for, I think I first mentioned it over a year ago. It's the Enquiries mixer. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm finally getting one. I'm so excited. So anyway, if you have a mixer, do it in your mixer because there's lots of hand kneading involved in this recipe. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of salt in here. And mix that in. I'm very excited because Dan is in town right now, picking out our new furniture that's going to go up into the living room. We finished our renovations downstairs. Well, actually, we're nowhere near finished the renovations downstairs, but the actual family room is done. I'll take you down there in a little bit and show you. So we moved our old furniture from our living room upstairs down there, and we're getting some new furniture for our living room, which is very exciting because we have not had new furniture in a very long time. And as you can imagine, furniture in our house gets very well loved. So it's going to be nice to have some new stuff. Okay, we're gonna add 2 eggs to this. And we're just gonna beat them up first before adding them to our flour. Some nice tough shells on our eggs, which is great because that means that our chickens are getting all the nutrients they need. If you start getting really soft shells, sometimes that can be due to the age of your chickens, but it also can be due to nutrient deficiencies, particularly calcium. So we actually feed our eggshells back to our chickens. We just put them in a jar, wait till they're dried out a little bit, and then crush them down and feed them back to the chickens. And that helps with nice, strong eggshells. So we have our egg here, 2.5 cups of water. So as usual, I'm gonna need the full amount and then some as far as water. So this recipe is 2.5 cups of water. And I think it's because we live in such a dry climate that I always need to add the highest amount of whatever liquid the recipe is calling for. So we're gonna mix all this in, and once it is mixed in, it's going to be quite a firm dough, and then we're gonna knead it for 4 to 5 minutes. And that's gonna be perfect. So I'm just gonna set my timer for 4 minutes and knead this up. Okay, timer is up. Thank goodness. Do you know what I just realized I forgot to add? Was olive oil to this dough. Oh well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Add a little olive oil into our bowl though. And that will help, right? So I'll cover that up, set our timer for 45 minutes, clean up this mess, and then get our filling all made. Okie dokie, we have potatoes here. Add a little milk to them. It was 6 tablespoons of olive oil that I should have added to that dough, which I did not add. So we'll mix in the few tablespoons that I just put on it into it, and I'm sure that'll be just fine. I'm adding some whole milk with lots of cream on the top, so I'm not going to bother adding butter. I usually would add butter, but I'm not going to worry about that. We'll add a little bit of salt though, and we'll add some of these onions. I don't think we'll do that as many as we have here though. That might be a little bit much. All right, a little bit of mozzarella, a little bit of cheddar. So you know what was really cool is I was just checking my direct messages on Instagram, and somebody had written me, hi if it was you, and said that she makes and sells pierogies, hundreds of them every single year. I can't remember what she said. I think she sells them in batches of 12, and I think she did 600 batches or something like that. So a ridiculous amount of pierogies. Anyways, she offered to come out to the ranch and teach me how to make pierogies because she's going to be coming through this area once the snow's off the ground. And if our schedules match up, I think I'll take her up on it because I would love to learn how to make pierogies from someone who has that kind of experience. But I just thought it was kind of a coincidence that here I am making pierogies and I got that email at the same time. So we have our dough here. I think I could have made this dough a little bit more dense, so it wasn't quite as soft as this, but it is what it is, so we're going to use what we have. I think this is going to be my test batch, and we'll have this for lunch today, and I'll make another batch for my son's birthday. I have a little bit more experience, a little bit more practice getting them just right. So we're going to roll these out to be, I'm not worried about adding too much extra flour because like I said, I think I should have done these a little bit more, or the dough a little bit thicker. Okay, there we go. So I think I'm going to use a canning lid for the size of these. I'm just going to cut one out and see where we're at. Yeah, I think that'll work. I can even stretch them out a little bit. There. It's not the prettiest pierogi, but it should work. I think I can do those a little bit smaller, actually. Okay, I am going to use my biscuit cutter now and see if that is going to work for size. I think that'll actually be perfect. Okay, I'm going to get to it and get these all stuffed, and then I'll be back with you to fry some of them up and taste them. I ended up having some helpers come in and help make them. As you can see, we've already fried up a ton. So that recipe, the recipe that I just shared with you, was perfect for, I don't know, probably 3 batches of pierogies for the average size family. We'll be able to eat this all during lunch today, but I just wanted to show you how we're cooking them up. So just frying them in a little bit of butter until they're nice and golden brown. These ones are perfect. And then just setting them into some bowls or onto some bowls and some plates over here. So we have a couple left to fry. A little bit of extra butter in there.
A lot of pierogies.
It is a lot of pierogies, isn't it? Okay, we have some delicious pierogies, and my friends, these taste so good. So much better than store-bought pierogies. I was just saying to the kids that I don't think that I can buy store-bought pierogies again because these are just so much better. And they weren't hard to make, just a little bit time consuming. So if you have some extra helping hands to be able to help make them, then that definitely will save you time. It took us around 30 minutes or so to make all of these pierogies and actually fry them, because I was frying them and the kids were making them. So it was about 30 minutes from start to finish, and then around an hour or so to make the dough and then have it rest for that 45 minutes. So I guess around probably 2 hours start to finish, which isn't too terribly bad for a really delicious meal like this. We were just talking about how we want to make ravioli next. That's going to be the next thing that we make. And I think what I might do is pause this video here, and tomorrow we'll make ravioli together, and I'll just put that in this video. So I will see you tomorrow when we are going to make some ravioli. I am so excited because when Dan came home last night, look what he brought with him. This is my mixer. So we are going to open it together and put it through its paces and see what we think. I know I'm gonna love it. Dan is also doing some work downstairs. He is installing our hot water tank / adapter that goes on our wood cook stove. I'll bring you down there and show you that once we get this opened. I'm so excited. So I ordered this. Oh, look, it comes with a recipe book. You know how much I love recipe books, from Juicerville here in Canada. And they sell all kinds of really gorgeous kitchen gadgets. They have a blender. It's the Vitamix, the updated Vitamix blender, to the one that I have. The one I have is very old and has seen better days. Eventually I'd like to get the new one, but they have all kinds of awesome gadgets, and they have offered me a discount, which I'll put down into the show notes for you if you want to go and check it out. Currently they only ship to Canada, but they are going to be shipping to the US starting in, I think, around June or so. But let's dig into this. Ooh. And check it out. I have never used one of these mixers before, and it is a little bit of a different kind of style to the standard mixers that I'm used to, so I'm sure it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at how pretty it is. I ordered this cream one because I thought it would look really nice, and it does with the green. It looks beautiful. What a beautiful machine. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm almost shaking. I'm so excited. I like this. A tough kitchen machine made to work really hard. And that's exactly what is going to happen to this machine in my kitchen. Isn't it pretty? So pretty. It's so fancy looking. Hmm?
So I thought you ordered the green one.
No, I ordered the cream one because I wanted it to look nice
Creamy?
with this. Yes. The green they had was kind of more of a forest green.
Oh.
So I thought the cream would look better. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. So one of the reasons that I went with this particular design of mixer is because you can just load it from the top, and it doesn't have the big part like my other mixer did, that I find kind of gets in the way a little bit. And I wanted one that had an open loading area for my stuff. I'm so excited. Okay, so now let's learn about how to actually set this up. Okay, so this heavy duty thing is actually the dough hook. And dough knife. So this goes in and pulls it off of the side. We have the spatula. This is going to last the rest of my life. I am sure of that. Okay, this is our bowl. bowl cover for rising. Oh, that's nice. You can put that in there to rise your dough. Okay, so for the bread goes in there. Oh, that's easy. Ah, I see. Okay. Is that supposed to go in any further than that? Nope, just that far. And then this goes here. Well, that is pretty easy to put together. Okay, the dough roller or the dough hook, which one to use when? So this is the roller. So this is something that's very different than any other mixer that I have ever seen. So let's see what to do. You can choose between the dough roller and the dough hook. Either way, you should also use the dough knife, which is this part here, which scrapes the inside of the bowl. When you make dough in the Enquiries Assistant Original, always add the liquid first, regardless of the recipe, then add the dry ingredients. Use when making buns. Okay, so for the roller, we're going to use for making buns or firmer doughs with butter. Can also be used for big batches of cookie dough. Okay, because I'm going to do a large batch of bread, we'll just use the kneading hook. Super easy to take apart. Wow. I'm so happy. Here, what do we use this for? This is probably for using, liquid ingredients. Like when you're making whipping cream and things like that, would be what this would be used for. These ones are cookie whisks, and then, of course, the beaters. When I was watching reviews on this, which I watched many, I heard that it just took a little bit to kind of get used to in comparison to the standard mixers that I have been using for years. But so far, it's pretty simple to use. I'm really happy with how easy it comes. It kind of gets put together. But so far, I'm not finding this too difficult at all. I am in love with it already, and I haven't even turned it on yet. So let's make a batch of bread, shall we? The older I get, the more I appreciate really good quality products because they just make my job so much easier and just more enjoyable, you know? So let's get some yeast in here. I love it so much. Okay, they need some food. I usually add honey to my bread, but I do not have any liquid honey at the moment, so I'm just going to add a couple of tablespoons of sugar. I have lots of other things to share with you before we close out today's video, so I'm just going to show you actually using the mixer, but we won't go through the whole entire step of making bread. You guys have also seen me do that lots of times before, but I wanted to take you downstairs and show you where we're at with that renovation. So we have our sugar and our yeast and our water in here. Oh, well, I'm not off to a good start. Completely forgot to add this part. There we go. I was wondering why it wasn't working. Okay, so this is a timer. Oh my gosh, you guys, this has a timer on it. Yeah, so that you can have it. I have already added 6 cups of flour to this, and there is room for more. Friends, this mixer is epic. I am in love with this. Throw a little bit of olive oil in right in here and then put the lid on so I don't even have to do another pot. And the inside of this is perfectly clean. That little scraper part was a genius addition to a mixer. So now we're going to throw on our rising top on there and go set our timer. I cannot wait to go through all of this and check out my new cookbook, which I was not expecting, so that's exciting. Alrighty, now let's go downstairs and see what Dan's up to, and I'll show you where we're at with the living room. So just keep in mind, or the family room rather, that we don't have art on the walls yet. We don't have our lamps down there or area rug or anything like that. We've just put the furniture from up here downstairs. How's it going? Good. Good? Okay guys, so this is what we're doing. This is our wood furnace here. And then Dan is hooking up this hot water tank. You'll have to explain. I have no idea actually what you're doing. Dan can tell you. There you go, Dan. Now they'll be able to hear you.
Like a news broadcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Just installing wood heated hot water system. And we put in our other hot water tank. We plumbed over to here so that I can connect this up. So basically all this does is this sits on top of the wood box and it's a water loop. So it gets heated by the fire. And then it's set on such an angle so water rises when it heats. So it just naturally circulates into this tank and then draws out of the bottom up to here, and it just hits this tank, and then our house water will go through this tank before it goes into the other hot water tank. So it just preheats all our hot water with wood.
That's so awesome. We have had this, how long have we had this for?
Like 5 years.
Yeah, a very long time. We just have not had time to install it, but now that we're doing the basement, we just want to have this whole entire thing done. So it's very exciting. I'm excited too. Okay, let me show you over here. Okay, like I said, we haven't officially set everything up yet, but the room is done and it is looking so good. So let me share with you kind of what our plan is for over here. So this is going to be our boot room. Maybe one of you have an idea for this actually. We want to put something on the wall so that when shoes are being kicked off, it's not wrecking the drywall. I thought corrugated metal roofing would be kind of cool. I'll show you where we use that in the pantry that Dan built, and it looks really nice. And then put a big thick piece of that fur, that reclaimed fur, and then put some black hooks on that with a bench so that we can sit, take our shoes off, and stick them in underneath the bench. We were thinking of buying some pre-made ones, but this area gets so much use and so much traffic, I just don't think they would hold up. So I'll show you what I'm talking about with the roofing over here. We used this old roofing, has rust spots on it, which I really love, in here for the roof in here, and I just think it looks beautiful, and this is the reclaimed fur that I want to use to put the hooks on. So I think that would look really good, but Dan's not 100% sold on the idea. So if you have any other ideas, let us know. So as far as the renovations down here, we have pretty much now gutted and rebuilt the entire basement. We have 2 more bedrooms that are down here that still need to be brought right down to the studs. We have some issues with air kind of getting in along the edge along here and it makes the floor really cold upstairs. So we know that the insulation has been all pushed down and it needs to be redone in there. So that's kind of the last frontier of the basement. But other than that, it is entirely brand new and nice and clean and bright, and we're really, really happy with it. And the kids are really happy with it too, because this is kind of gonna be the teenage hangout space in our house. And they've already been hanging out down here, even though it's not set up yet or anything. Hun, you did such nice work. It looks so good. Amazing. Well, that was a very fun couple of days, making the pierogies yesterday, getting my new mixer today, Dan putting the hot water system in downstairs. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with us, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye.